All right, the president of House of Cards fans. That was President Obama just a short time ago during a meeting with some of the country's top tech executives. He'd been talking about the show House of Cards when reporters were allowed into that meeting. Now, the president is meeting with leaders from Apple, Yahoo, Facebook, and Google, and they're supposed to be talking about the performance of healthcare.gov, but it's expected that the NSA surveillance program is going to be a hot topic as well. Bridge over troubled water. Did New Jersey Governor Chris Christie's order lane closings on one of the world's busiest bridges? Was it a political payback? And then the bigger picture, in this new conversation over Santa's race, are we really missing something? These are the topics for our agenda panel today. We have Zerlina Maxwell, a political analyst and contributor to thegrio.com. Shira Center is the politics editor for Roll Call. And Steve Bannon is an MSNBC political contributor and the head of the Maddo blog. Gang, it is great to have you all here. Zerlina, I want to start off with you and Chris Christie and what's taking place over in New Jersey, because this has been an interesting one to watch. On September the 9th, 2 of the 3 entrance lanes to the George Washington Bridge were closed, and then they were closed for 4 days. This caused massive traffic delays. Now, the mayor of a nearby town in Fort Lee saying it was payback because he refused to endorse Christie for governor. The Port Authority says it was a traffic study. Now, 2 people have been appointed by Christie. They have resigned over this. Do you think this is a local story, or that this has national legs to rise up to talk about the type of politician or administration that Christie runs?
I think right now it's a local story, but it has the potential to be a national story and have national implications for his presidential hopes, because you never want to be associated with cronyism or playing petty politics, and that's really what this story smells like. And I think, you know, the label that has been associated with Christie is bully. And you don't want that to infect sort of his presidential hopes, because you need a certain temperament to be president. You know, you're getting the responsibility of the nuclear launch codes. You don't want somebody taking revenge that has that kind of power. All
right, so Steve, as Zerlina brings up the phrase of petty politics, certainly Christie tries to portray himself as somebody who rises above what that means in modern times, but something like this that really undercuts that narrative, and certainly at least the judgment of the people that he would surround himself if they were to pull the trigger on a decision like that.
Yeah, he's worked really hard, the governor has, over the course of many years to cultivate this personality, that he's above politics, that he doesn't have any use for politics as usual. But in this instance, we have a situation in which the administration is accused of crippling a community on purpose for the most petty and partisan of reasons. The local mayor didn't endorse his re-election campaign. If the allegations prove to be true, and at this point there's a lot of evidence pointing in that direction, it makes it seem as if that all of that branding that Christie has done over the years has been for naught, that he is in fact worse than politics as usual. So it has the potential to be quite a scandal.
And Shira, for opposition research, is this exactly what somebody who on a potential Hillary Clinton team or a potential Joe Biden team would be looking at to see how they respond to these types of situations that really get under their skin?
Exactly. I view this controversy in many ways as a test balloon to see how Chris Christie would react to such opposition. I mean, let's face it, he won re-election by a large margin. He didn't have a big challenge there. He hasn't been challenged very much by Democrats while he's been in office, at least to the point of political peril. If he runs for president in 2016, he's going to be on a totally different stage. It's going to be very interesting to see how he reacts. I think it's certainly a determinant to whether or not a national candidate is successful, is whether they can let these kinds of controversies roll off their back, or if they're thin-skinned and they take them personally.
All right, I want to switch gears as we ramp up to Christmas. We're just a little over a week away, and we've had this issue that's popped up of racializing Santa Claus. We all know where it started, so we're not going to belabor that. But the late shows, they are getting in on this. They're having a field day with the conversation. Take a listen.